Hey there, YouTube peoples. Welcome to Socially Single. I'm V. And this time, we're going to be talking about, well, this is not a lie. I'm going to be talking about Jovon and Anna from 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. I did a video on them regarding what they presented to us in the season before the tell-all. And so I'll put that link to that video in the description, of course. Feel free to just put me on in the background because I talk a lot. And I would love to know your thoughts, opinions, in the comment section for sure. And if you like things and you agree with what I gotta say, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe for those additional videos that I will be doing and dropping in the future. And so let's get into this. So Jovon and Anna, just a quick recap because it really wasn't a whole lot going on with these two. And they both were in Philippines. So they weren't really at the tell-all in person. And so we get some updates, and I'm not going to keep y'all out here long. I don't said that in some other segments, and it wasn't true. However, it's going to be true this time. Okay. So with Jovon and Anna, we left off where Jovon was leaving the Philippines to come back to the States, and he had stayed for a longer period of time beyond his original time frame to really spend quality time with Anna. And I said that I appreciate that Jovon had did that because he was coming off as a certain way, and they're not really meshed perfectly. But I think the intention is there, or at least the desire is there to make it work. I do believe that Jovon and Anna has some toxic characteristics in this relationship. And so are they the most toxic on the season? No. But we cannot ignore the domestic, I believe it's called the DV, that has been shown carelessly throughout the season between these two. And in this situation, it wasn't made to be a socially significant thing because it was Anna having a fit and hitting Jovon because she didn't like his reaction or what he may or may not have said. And that's not okay. You cannot be hitting on your partner, whether you are a man or a woman. And it will be foolhardy for not to bring that point up because it was not brought up during the tell-all. It was not dug deeper into. And I am not a fan of DV. I have not been in that situation, and I feel for anyone who has been through it. And I'm grateful for those. Well, I shouldn't say grateful. I'm very happy for those who got out of those situations. And if you find yourself in that situation, I hope that you're able to find the resources and the confidence to move beyond that. So I wanted to start off with that when it comes to Jovon and Anna because they did not get into that at all with the tell-all. This was a lot of, in this scenario, it was a lot of blaming Jovon for what Jovon isn't doing and not really holding Anna to the fire. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. Let me just say this. Jovon is one of 4 Black people on this season. He's the lightest of the bunch, but he's one of 4. And I bring that up because while it should not necessarily matter, I think that when it comes to wanting to hold Black cast members accountable, people don't shy away from that, especially Black guys. However, as it relates to, a white alternative, there's just a filter that then comes into place. And so, that's kind of what I thought about during this tell-all, because there isn't much to pull from, so I'm not trying to make anything up or exasperate it. It was just interesting to me that Anna did not get some of the smoke that she deserved. And why do you say that, V? Because we find out that I told you all that Anna was pregnant, and she found out she was pregnant before Jovon had left. And Jovon, made the promise that he was going to return back to the Philippines before the baby was born. And also, he had worked hard to really find that right connection. And when we saw them, because the cameras are not stay during his extended time frame, he had they were at least able to really like a couple. There was banter that was agreeable for both parties, and so I felt like they had grown that time frame. So I believe Jovon, despite all the red pill stuff that everyone kept trying to put onto him so hard, that beyond all of that, he wanted to make it work with Anna. And we find out, unfortunately, that Anna had a miscarriage. And let me tell you something. That's real. That hits. I hate to hear that Anna had that. I have definitely had to experience something like that in my own personal life, and so I felt Jovon when he found that out, and you can just see the hurt on his face, 100%. It's still fresh for them. How long ago it happened doesn't even matter. And I didn't say this. He is in the Philippines, so he was not at the actual tell-all in person. He was with Anna in the Philippines, and Anna looked good. Anna had a whole strapless dress on. Anna looked good. She done cut her hair. Anna looks good. Anna looked good. That red was a very agreeable with her skin complexion. They did not shy away from being touchy-feely and really just enjoying each other on camera. And you saw the hurt. And you saw that they wanted to also, while get their point across, there was a level of, I'm also here to support and protect my person. That's what I felt. And we didn't get a whole lot from them. I do think that when she revealed the miscarriage, there was grace being provided to that situation. And so, it didn't get juicy and all that. But the updates, we find out that Jovon actually returned back to the Philippines, but he has moved there. He quit his job. Jovon quit his job, and he got rid of his apartment, packed up, and he moved to the Philippines. And he did that because Anna found herself in a position where she could not come over to the States because she's caring for her mother. So we don't really know the details with her mom. I think there was a rumor, and I don't want to put this on here, that maybe her mom might have passed and is no longer with us. However, she could not leave her mom there alone. And so Jovon went over there instead, and they went through that process. And so I thought that was really big. And I want to give Elise credit again. Elise is going to probably keep coming up because we'll talk about Elise in Elise's segment. Elise hit some points. I told her that she wasn't that dumb as she wants to think she is. Elise was like, everybody really kind of kept trying to comfort Jovon and really wanted to let have on him taking in this, macho content and red pill. He even has said some things about he wished how Anna was more submissive and she was all of this and so on and so forth, and just listen to what he had to say. And I don't think Jovon is saying that. I don't think that at this point again, because I want to remind you all, they've been together for, I want to say, about 7 years, similar to Forrest and Sheena. Jovon know who Anna is. I think that he's attracted and desires a woman who's a bit more meek and is not going to challenge him as much. But I think Anna has earned her place in the relationship where she's not afraid to challenge him, and he needs something like that. I do. He's, Jovon's a beta. He's not an alpha man. And I'm not saying it in a negative way. He just has a very much more laid back personality. He needs someone who's going to be compatible with him, that's going to hold him to the fire and know how to get his point across without offending his partner. Same thing goes for Anna. Anna needs to know how to communicate and to get a point across and know how to accept things or see it from a different perspective and not go with this whole, well, because I'm the woman, it should automatically be this. That's not how you have a healthy relationship, Anna. And so we find out that when we found out where everybody was going to blame him for, how he treats her at the bread pill stuff, Elise came in and said, you know what? Y'all keep talking about this, but he is there with her now. He's the only one. They're the only couple who's together right now. So all that could be true about him not wanting submissive and all this other stuff, but he's there with his woman. He quit his job and moved to the Philippines for whatever reasons that came for her to support her in her time of need. They experienced that miscarriage together. They're dealing with her mom and whatever concerns that her mom has. They're doing it together. And whatever that looks like, I would like to have gotten into, well, is he working in the Philippines? Did he have a nest egg saved? Did you just have enough money saved up to where it's going to last a long period of time? Did she go back to work? Is he doing something at the table? I want to know how they are financially supporting their family. We did not really get to that. And Jovon did say, he stuck with her. And people felt kind of weird about that. I have brought up the sunken fallacy of this idea that sometimes people stay together because they feel like they've already put so much into it. So it just makes sense to stay with that person and versus leaving. I do think there's a little bit of that going in this relationship, but I gotta say, given the actions and even them saying, hey, we're not perfect. We're going to therapy, couples therapy. And I was so happy to hear that. Now, I'm giving full acknowledgement and kudos. I'm very supportive of therapy. I do think that if they're going to couples therapy, they need to have their own individual therapists as well. Because, couples therapy is going to really focus on, I hate to say it, the relationship as a whole. And sometimes, usually it's not effective for all parties if they're giving unnecessary bias to one versus the other, and they're contributing to a possible blame game. There's ways to be held accountable, but both sides have to be heard and be willing to hear for the therapy to work, right? And so if there's additional issue that they're going through socially, like I do think Jovon needs his own therapist, and so does Anna, to help with her mood swings and I should say the way that she's treated him. And Jovon needs to work on why he doesn't feel that he's being heard, and how can he figure out a way that he can say what he needs to say that isn't going to be triggering, right? So it was really good to hear them say that. I like these two. I know that some other people have voiced that they don't like them and they don't have the best. They're probably one of the most hated couples on this season, from what I have kind of just seen a little bit looking online. But that's okay. I like them. Do I think they belong together? That's for them to figure out. They're both the same age, 38, 39 years old. Jovon he made a commitment. And if it doesn't work out, it won't be much for him to return back to Alabama and to start over again. Right? So, and I don't know what his level of schooling is, but Anna does have degrees. Anna does have, listen, the Filipino women on this season are not the ones who were out here uncultured or untraveled, okay? Sheena's a veterinarian and been that way for 10 years, and Anna has a whole communications degree, and I do believe that Anna, she had her job, and I know she stopped working I think that when she stopped working, it was less to do with Jovon. Now that we know that her mom was sick, I do think it had more to do with her mom having issues that she did not want to get into, probably to respect her mom's privacy. But I do think that she, if she wants to work and make her own money, Anna can. Anna can. So, I'm looking. I don't know if they're going to be invited back or if they would accept being back. I don't think neither one of them really cares for being on the cameras because they did better off camera, and they're not entertaining or interesting in that sense. But I would love to see where the updates go with them in the future, and because I just want to see people happy, I hope that their relationship grows in a positive direction. So that's all I got for them. We didn't get a whole lot. We didn't go a whole lot. Anna equipped in them some people. I thought that she was always witty and timely with it. And so, they were not being judgmental or trying to make themselves more known than necessary for the camera for a show. I think this is the other couple aside from Forrest and Sheena where we're kind of getting mostly a really authentic couple. So time will tell what happens with them, and I hope that we find that out. All right, y'all, that's it. I told you I was gonna keep y'all on. This will be a short video, so you all take care. I hope that you like this. Also, would love for you to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And I really want to hear or read what those comments look like down there about this couple and your thoughts on their story. Take care, y'all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.